So, hi everybody. We are here for third in a row really started by the IPO meetup dedicated to co-founder seeking, and we call it Find Your Co-Founder. So my name, probably a lot of you know me already, so my name is Richard Gerlums, and I'm organizing the network of Latvian technology and entrepreneurship meetup groups in Riga. So a couple of words about history and background of meetup group. Then we have personal introduction because we are not very lot of guys here. So I prefer that everybody speak what are he or she doing, and probably somehow connect to those who are shy to stand out and present their ideas. So maybe this networking behind the scene, so probably it works the same way as for those who just presenting their ideas and not shy to speak out. So then we have as in every startup, we have this event announcement. So if somebody would like to announce an event or something like that, it's free to speak out to the crowd. And then summary, so probably we could wrap up and brainstorm about ideas how to develop such kind of events here in Latvia and how to build ecosystem together. So, very beginning about history. So the intention to start this activity called Find Your Co-Founder is that in Latvia there's a particular problem that there's a lot of founders, but there are no very less teams. And the problem is that somehow Latvians here in Latvia are very huge individualists, and they somehow, I don't know the reason behind that, and it's probably psychological and historical some kind of background, but we would like to change somehow that we could see more and more those startup teams. And teams, it means that you already have some kind of common vision of the idea or startup or something else. It's not just like employee-employer relations as a usual enterprise. Startups is a quite different role. So, and that's why we decided to make such kind of event. So, and we preferably could see the two parts of attendees. Well, one part is who are idea holders, owners, or movers, or guys, or who already have some kind of possession of an idea, and they even don't know how to realize this idea, and probably don't have some team members who could help him realize the idea. And second part of the ecosystem here is those who are passive and looking for some kind of challenge in their lives and would like to join this challenging startup world. And probably looking for some challenge in life and would like to change their boring day-to-day working life to something new and better. So that's probably my idea to start from short introduction. So just introduce yourself, who you are, what are you doing, and do you have some kind of idea or project? You're looking for something, or maybe you're looking for a challenge to join some team. If you have already some kind of idea, so we could start from this side. You could speak this order.
Me?
Yep.
I am Nauris. I am working in MicroTech as support and studying IT at LO Masters. At the moment I have a lot of ideas, but nothing specific. And I'm looking for a challenge to join the team.
Okay. And probably you could shortly describe yourself. What are your skill set or knowledge or something, or what you could be doing?
My skill set is network engineers mostly. Little bit programming, and I'm very good idea generator and very innovative, I think.
Okay. So about you?
My name is Alexander. I work at meetup as well as a hardware engineer for electronics.
Okay.
I do hardware, programming at home, firmware system, and I also have some ideas, and these ideas sometimes it's even crazy. For example, one of my idea is to use X-Plane simulator, flight simulator, with fake cockpit and auto script, so that the man who is sitting in the cockpit may feel tactile effect of the cockpit and somehow connect this cockpit to the X-Plane, so he can feel himself as a real pilot.
Okay. You're not pitching this idea tonight.
I'm not.
Okay,
Just idea.
probably next time. Okay, right. So,
Yeah, okay, my name is Dalis, and I actually have an idea, and I have prepared a little presentation so that I do not repeat myself. You
Yeah.
will hear from
I
me.
was also
later.
pitching that you just say that you will pitch today. It was like we are caps for 3 pitches. Okay. So,
My name is Kaspars. I am a developer of CLN, and I'm looking for some new guys who want to make interesting projects with machine learning and statistics.
and what exactly about machine learning?
Exactly.
Okay, welcome. So, what about you?
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm a Java developer at Accenture. I have some ideas, but I'm not pitching today. I'm just here to listen to see what's going on, what people think, and what are their ideas.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Robert. I'm also Java developer at Accenture. So today I hope to join some team maybe. But with friends we currently are working with motion sensors on Arduino. Maybe some motion capture later create some project. But it's just some currently just like playing.
Okay.
Finished?
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm Giovanni. I live here in Riga since 3 years and a half. Before I was in London. I'm Italian. My background is in tourism, so hotels and airline companies, where I was e-commerce manager, revenue manager, and web marketing expert. And I'm here to pitch an idea that I'm working on since already 3 years and a half. So I really hope somebody is going to like it.
Okay. So, it's your turn?
Hello, I'm Ilya. I'm going to be patient tonight, so you'll be hearing more about me and the project I'm working on during the session.
Okay. So that's the last row.
Hello, my name is Anna. I am a developer, mostly WordPress developer, also designer. And I will not pitch today anything, but I will listen and maybe some future meetups I can do it because I have a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I forgot to tell that this event is actually not investor ready idea pitching. It's pre investment or pre business plan idea pitching. So it could be very rough, not ready in all terms. I think just speak out and look for your friends. So what about you?
Yeah, hello, my name is Frank. I'm from Germany, but lived since some 5 years in Riga. And so I'm mainly for curiosity here to meet local people from technology and design. So my company makes design and web design in Germany, with mainly German clients.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Egert. I'm an electronics engineer. I just had free time, so I came here wondering what's happening here.
Okay.
I'm enjoying this evening.
Right.
My name is Anders. I am a University of Turin student. I'm here today to see how this all is happening, and maybe next time I will pitch my idea.
Cool.
Hello, my name is Anders. I'm currently graphic designer, also studying in Turiba, and I have one idea, but I will not pitch it since it's not even ready for presentation. It needs to be crystallized a bit.
Yeah. At the very beginning, you should sell your idea to yourself, in order to sell it to others. Probably, you should make it clear and then there's a couple of slides. So, what about you guys?
I'm Aris. I run an e-commerce London-based cycling and bicycle-related, cycling lifestyle-related e-commerce, and I'm here today just to listen and see what's happening around.
Okay.
And I'll see what that needs.
Okay. You?
I'm Ines. Well, I am a communication geek at Tech Riga. I am here because I have my startup idea, but it's still flying in the air and I need to anchor it down. So I'm here just to check what's going on.
Okay. You other?
Hi, my name is Maria. I'm currently working at Tech Hub's management team as well. I'm a colleague of Ines and as a project manager right now. I came here to explore actually, to see what kind of opportunities are and what are the open spaces. So yeah.
Okay. So next we have the introduction part already. So yeah, this is the last version of. Yeah. So I just would like to show some featured events. So as I told already, I have seen a lot of you in different this Latvian Technology and Entrepreneurship Meetup Network events here at the mill. So but probably. For those who don't know what's going on, so this is we have 8 groups together each month. So so next week we have Bitcoin meetup for those who are interested in cryptocurrencies. Then we have drone meetups for everything which is flying and all kind of managed stuff. Then we have a mobile application meetup for 28, all happening, all those events happening here in the mill. And then in February we have a CUDA machine learning and computer vision meetup in Tuesday, in the 3rd of February. Then we have 3D printing meetup in Riga Design Factory, which is actually Riga Technical University. Then we have biotechnology meetup, and then we have next Find Your Cofounder meetup February, which is scheduled for the 19th of February. So those who are ready for next time, you just save the date and then it come out. For critical mass, I would expect that this event is actually holds at least 5 presentations. Tonight we have 3, so we hope that next time we will be growing in amount. So yeah, so just don't be shy and speak it out. Couple of words about sponsors. So I represent Riga Technical University. So Riga University, we are actually organizing such kind of events in order to build this Latvian help to build this Latvian entrepreneurship and technology ecosystem. Then we have Microsoft. For those who would like to have opportunities support the startups from Microsoft, just give me a note and you will get some kind of huge benefits like free software and cloud instance from Microsoft. Just let me know. Latvia's guarantee agent were sponsoring financially all this meetup networks, so thank you them for the opportunity to get food and speakers and something like that. So a couple of featured resources. So last time when we was here, we talked about internet platforms for Cofounder, looking at mixing, much making and something like that. So there's a couple of them in a network. First is Founder to Be. It's quite close. I've got some feeling that this is not really good working for Latvian ecosystem at the moment. So if you have some kind of different opinion, just let me know. Then we have the most popular probably is the Cofounder Lab. There's a lot of Latvian guys already who made profiles, but the problem is that in this platform that there's ID owner some kind of related platform. This is not ID related platform. It means that it's very hard to find out what kind of ideas those founders are actually moving out or pitching. And this is also not very effective tool for team making an idea making some kind of converting to startups. A very promising initiative is backed by the LGA. It's called Labs of Latvia. It's going live in the 3rd of March next year. And as far as we talk with the development teams, there's probably will be some kind of engine for co-founder matching too. It's some kind of team making or platform for where you could post your ideas. And so I would be glad that they implement something that we're doing here, because there's a huge problem that there's nowhere where we could put those ideas after this meetup or event. So there should be some kind of place where you could place your profile, your idea, your founder profile, something like that, and other guys you can found and matching your expertise with needs of founder of ideas, something like that. I hope it will be valuable for our startup ecosystem. So then we have a presentation time. We have 3 presentations today. Your presentation is today the first. So it's for today as soon as we have only 3 presentations. So we are not very time limited. So express yourself and just try to make answers those questions. So who am I? Or my startup or project or idea. So current status, just idea, prototype or seed. So yeah, where you are. So what kind of co-founder you are looking for, and what could you offer? So these basic questions about what our team members are usually looking for. It's sometimes very hard to change mindset of Latvian technology people, because there's a not if you're offering a lot of job and not paying salary for half a year, it's not very optimistic for them to keep just only shares of the company. So trying to make the mindset change in this way, in some kind of Silicon-based style. But yeah, because usually the owner or startup owner could afford paying high salaries.
It's the same everywhere.
Yeah, sure. That's we're helping change mindset of those people who are working for big companies and then looking for salaries. Yeah, and why should people join you? Some simple question. Yeah, so this is your presentation. So the floor is yours. It's yours.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes, can we make it?
Yes, maybe. Screen and
So, okay, I introduced myself 5 minutes ago. I'm Giovanni, and I'm here to pitch on the go. And well, first of all, my apologies for the logo. I'm not a web designer. I just did something as I could. It's not great. As it's written there, we will change the type word forever. It means that it's hotel related. I'm coming from hotels, from the tourism world, so it's hotel related. It's me at the moment. I've got 3 people. I mean, 3 people including me. 2 people that got fascinated with this idea at the startup weekend in Milan, and we started working together. And it's already 3 years. We are working on it. We don't have a technical team, so actually we haven't gone that far, if not on a, let's say, sales and other points of view. But we have not developed really neither the app nor a real nice-looking prototype. Anyway, I'm the owner of the idea, basically, with my experience in the tech world. The other 2 are mostly experienced sales, very interested in the startup world. Now, what is this on the go? On the go is an idea that I had while speaking with general managers, revenue managers in hotels, hotel chains, That's something that the market is really craving for. Basically, at the moment, there is not what we can call at the moment, even if it's not really like that, a social community, temporary social community, and localized social community for people who are traveling and are staying in hotels. There are many services for people who are traveling, but there is not this specific thing. At the moment, there are a lot of companies who offer B2B services to hotels, but they are all focused on a single customer, on a single hotel. For example, a hotel needs a live concierge system or a booking engine or whatever. And so the companies are offering a system for that specific individual hotel. But one example, if a user is using the live concierge of Hotel A, he doesn't know what's happening in Hotel B, that is maybe next door to this hotel. The idea is to create a market that at the moment is not existing. So basically what we want to do is to let people who are traveling or staying in hotels to interact with each other, asking questions, sharing taxis, asking suggestions about how to visit the city, or hooking up for one night stands, whatever. And the other side of it is that the hotels themselves will have a way to know their customers better and to offer targeted services. So not just to sell, but also in general to give attentions that are targeted to the profile of each single user. I'm getting more and more specific. Now I've been very, very, very general. Now I'm getting more specific. So the idea of how this app should work is briefly, very briefly and roughly described here. So basically, let's say that you get into a hotel, you're staying there for the night, you download our app, unless of course you haven't downloaded it in another hotel, because of course it's always the same app. And you make a sort of Foursquare-like check-in. And when you do this check-in, you also enter your travel reason. For example, you're there for a concert, you're there for a football match, you're there for a fair, you're there for whatever, for a city tour, honeymoon, whatever. From that moment on, you are checked in that hotel, and everybody else can see your travel reason, and you can start interacting with the other people by chatting, creating events, for example, befriending other people. Now this is the very B2C part of the app. There is then the B2B part, that is the one interesting on a money point of view. And it is that, on example, with an app you will be able to interact with the hotel reception through a live concierge, that initially is just a chat with the reception for many things, like, I don't know, please send me another pillow, or if you're still at the airport, please send me a taxi. Many things, or I don't know, book me the tennis or the massage or whatever. And also hotels will be able to see the travel reasons of the people that are checked in. They could see the activity in the chat, if it is the public chat, of course, not if it's a private chat, and decide if they want to interact with these people simply by writing something in the chat itself. You could send push notifications of any case, for any reason. Could be, for example, service communication, I don't know, the elevator is not working, or the underground, you have to go to the other one because this one is not working. Or it could be, of course, in form of coupons. By coupons, I mean selling something, very much targeting other people. So, an example, let's say that, I don't know, the hotel has not sold a suite, and it's evening, it's really almost impossible that they will sell it. So they could send, for example, a push notification, or they could send out a coupon to upgrade for people who are already in the hotel, to upgrade for a small amount of money to a suite, or maybe from 7 to 8 the restaurant is empty, and so why not send out the coupons for people maybe with a specific travel reason, with a specific age, maybe are interested to get into the hotel. The important thing is that these coupons, these push notifications, are not just for the people who are staying in that specific hotel. But if, for example, the hotel A in Riga wants to fill up his bar because he feels that the bar is empty, he can send out a coupon for all the people, maybe with a specific travel reason like city tours, to all the people who are staying in Riga, saying, okay, for 2 hours, happy hour at the bar. So you can come and stay here. So to all the hotels, not just the hotel we're staying in. Yeah, I just wanted to say before getting to this, as I get a little bit more time, maybe I can give some more examples. The great thing about this idea, at least I think it is great, and many hotels think it is great at all, as well, is that at the moment there is really no tool, no market at all to sell hotel extras, massage, city tours, whatever, bar, restaurant, tickets. There is nothing for the hotels to sell their extras to people that are in the same city, in the same area, or even in the same hotel. Because what you can buy at the moment on the internet, on the apps, is just a room. With this app, you will be able to buy rooms, or you will be able to buy everything else. And the app is supposed to be free, of course, for users, apart from the coupons that they will buy. It's supposed to be free for hotels in the basic version. Of course, they will have to pay a commission on each coupon sold. And there will be also the idea is to have also a premium version with more advanced technologies, more advanced functionalities, like, for example, the ability to send push notifications. That will be for a monthly fee. So that is basically the business model that we have in mind. The status, well, of course, in 3 years and a half we've not been lazy, by pardon. We've tried to do many things. So we try to create some prototypes, but we don't have really technical people in our staff. We made many presentations. We created a business plan because that we could do. But of course, it's something that at the moment is really a little bit in the clouds, because until you start this kind of business, you can't already know the numbers. We are in the second step of selection for funding, how do you say it in English? I don't know. It's an institution in Italy that is giving out money. We don't know where we stand. We hope that we stand in a good position. We are in contact with many hotels chains, and hotels institutions that, of course, we didn't make any real sale because we don't have a product, but all of the hotels, many hotels that we contacted and hotel chains, they just told us, let's just start. So they are just waiting, and that's a real pity, because, it's a pity that we have not started yet, not they are just waiting. And again, not just hotel, even hotel institutions like, I don't know, the Riga Hotel Group and things like that. So what are we looking for? After 3 years, we learned what he was saying, that it's that people can't work for free. We know that creating this app is a huge work. We hope hundreds of hotels, but we really need somebody who can do a great job so that we can go to hotels and say, this is the app that we have in mind, and look at it, it's great. So we don't need the app, we need a prototype and a good project. Really, we're looking at professional. Of course, after that, when we will have raised more money, hopefully through other sources as well. And then we will have money, of course, for the real developing. But at the moment, again, we don't ask to work for free a lot. We ask for work for free a little, as we have done up to now in these 3 years. And because we believe maybe in the idea, as we believe in it. And the prospects are really great, because really hotels and everybody like the idea. We just really need to start to find something, some technical people who believe in the idea as well as we do. And yeah, this is what I just said, basically the idea of the crowdfunding. A few contacts if you want, but I'm here, so you can just grab my shoulder in case. And thank you very much, and I take the opportunity to grab a cookie.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, it's time for questions, so...
Questions, yeah.
Yeah.
So I can eat afterwards.
Yeah. Are there any questions for Johnny?
Yeah. So, what was it that you were essentially doing during these 3 years?
Here?
No.
No, in general,
about this project.
well, it's quite a long story.
Make it short.
Yes, we were working on trying to find money. Some of the money that we had, unfortunately, got stolen in a fraud in Italy that got involved a lot of other startups and hundreds of thousands of euros. Luckily, we lost just 5,000 euros, but these were the only money that we had. So we got stuck with the developing, and we worked on looking for fundings and contacting hotels. We have a lot of contacts, and developing the idea, because now the idea that you see now is the result of thinking and speaking and thinking and speaking. At the beginning it was much easier. We started just with the idea, let's create a chat for the people who stay in the hotel. And at the beginning it was just that. And what you see is really thought and rethought and rethought. And it's also tested on the market, asking hotels and things like that. So we've been working a lot, even if unfortunately you can't see it in practice because we haven't developed anything, because we are not technical people.
If there are any similar solutions already in market?
There are a lot of solutions that give these functionalities to single hotels. So you can't expand, for example, the life concierge to the entire city or the coupons to the entire city. And there is a social community created by 3 Canadian people that allows for the people staying in the hotel to chat with each other, but it's just chat, nothing else. It's just a pure chat, and not much more.
Do you not think that basically, if I understood you correctly, that basically the app is going to send me pop-up notifications of different offers or for whatever I applied in a certain city or a certain area? Do you not think this is going to be a little bit, this could turn a little bit annoying for the consumer, as where you're opening literally a pipeline of spam directly to someone's phone? There's going to be perhaps hundreds of hotels and everyone's going to want to send something to this one customer.
Definitely.
Or are you planning to limit that somehow not to annoy your customers, otherwise people are just going to stop using that?
Absolutely, you're totally right. As a matter of fact, the idea is not, the chat is open to everybody. The user can see what's going on in every hotel, can see if that hotel, is used particularly by people who go there for nightlife or for city breaks or whatever, so you can decide where to stay. But it's not that the hotels can send coupons to everybody.
Yeah, all I meant was about the pop-up notifications. Where
Absolutely. Push notification just allows to the people who are staying in your hotel, push notification.
Okay.
And regarding the coupons will not be pushed over the phone to be released.
So it's some sort of Foursquare for hotels. It's location based.
Well, I don't say Foursquare because at the moment it sounds a little bit unlucky.
Technically, it should work the same way because it's locating your location.
It's geo-localized, definitely. It's sort of let's say, Airbnb for extras, with the possibility of being a social community. I mean, it's a e-commerce. It's a big e-commerce for hotels to sell.
Yeah, but what kind of benefit it bring to the customer, its consumer, which is me, just hotel guests?
Well, first of all, it's a social community, so you can interact.
For those who would like to socialize, but there's a part of the.
Yeah, but you can also have information about the hotel. For example, if you are interested in going to see a football match in London, you can go and check out which are the hotels where the most frequent travel reason is football match, for example. Or maybe you may not be interested in socializing with other people, but you may be interested in using the life concierge with your hotel. And secondly, it could be interesting anyway to get special offers when you are traveling for many reasons. Maybe, why not? A discount for a restaurant? I wouldn't mind getting a discount for a restaurant.
Yeah, well, this one thing. The central thing now is booking.com. And when you check into that hotel, they already offer you 100,000 of restaurant coupons. And what is your single biggest advantage of how you will tackle the booking codes?
Well, the coupons are not sold by the hotel. It's the hotel that is. My idea is the hotel that is selling the coupons. Can I explain it? Booking.com is a service to book rooms. In addition, you can, once you made the booking, you can maybe rent a car or get a restaurant or something. But it's not on spot. Once you make the booking, then you close the website, you travel, you don't have these offers anymore. These offers are active and are working at the moment. You have to consider something, that as there is not a market, and there is not a market at the moment, there is not a tool to sell, there is not an e-commerce tool to sell these offers at the moment. What's going to happen is that hotels will start kind of stealing the customers from the other hotels, like for the restaurant, for the massage and things like that. So what's going to happen is that the hotel close to that one that is stealing his own customers will have to get in as well, because we'll have to put in the same customer, the same offers for the customers, because otherwise it's going to lose all the customers from the other hotel. So it's going to be a kind of chain creating a market that at the moment doesn't exist, because at the moment hotels are not selling extras on any tool, on any platform.
So how you imagine this way to the market, to the customer? What could be the trigger for me to download this application? What kind of event?
The hotels.
So
the idea is that hotels will be our best partners, because hotels are the ones that are interested in the customers.
But I own my smartphone, so
yeah, you get into a hotel.
And
the hotel, you make the check-in in the hotel.
Okay,
and the hotel has all the interest for you to use the app. So he will ask, do you have this app? He will promote it as if it's his own app.
So hotel will promote for me to install this application for added value.
Okay, because we will send you information, so you can have the timeline for when the swimming pool is open, and if you want, you can have also special offers, but you can opt out if you want, if you don't want, and so on. So it will be actually, hotels will be our partner for the distribution, because the hotels need an app like this. They want their customers to use it.
Mm-hmm. So using opportunity to have you here, I just would like to ask you about venture capital and startup ecosystem in Italy. Did you try to rise up the funding in Italy? And what do you have there? Incubators, accelerators?
Accelerators, the point, okay, we try to get in contact directly with investors, but the situation in Italy is quite tragic at the moment on that point of view, especially because we don't have a technical team. So I spoke with...
But you have venture capital funds who is operating in Italy and giving money for startups, or not?
We have a lot of accelerators.
Okay.
But again, for us, there's no point to enter an accelerator because we don't have anything we can't develop ourselves the app. So we are a little bit stuck at the moment. We went, for example, I don't know, maybe you know some names. We were talking a lot with, what was the name, Q-Pixel, something like that.
Okay.
We were chat with them. Then they decided to, for political reasons, to go somewhere else. And now we are on the second step of the selection for this Invitalia one. That is basically a 60% of your business plan that will, 60% of the expenses that will be covered, 65. And again, we hope that we can manage to get those money, and it will be a good start. Of course, we need the money in advance, but then it's not a big issue because.
So, long story short, so you, for minimal viable product, you need the guy who could develop your app. An app is the minimal viable product. Who could you try to?
Yeah, I would not even call it a minimum viable product. Really, just a prototype. Okay. Because at the moment,
but you somehow would like to check the response of the clients and hotels in order to give them to take them.
Okay. The
receive
point is.
Funding.
The point is, a minimum viable product for this is already quite a lot of work. One. Two, I really think there's an opportunity here when, just with a prototype, to start asking for money to the hotels. Just maybe 50, 100 euros, 150 euros for an exchange of something where the product will be done. The point is that if we do if we prepare a minimum viable product with no money, we don't do a good job. If we have already a bit of money to use, we make a better job.
Yeah.
That's my idea.
So last question maybe for Giovanni.
How many times on average general population stay at a hotel? Because I can see that for those who are traveling a lot and maybe staying a lot in hotels, this application is beneficial. But for those who just one time goes to hotel, they just get the services from particular hotel and that's all. They are satisfied.
We are talking about I don't remember the numbers right now, but anyway, every year in the world, billions of people travel. Even if not all of them are exactly our target, it's not a big issue. Like people who travel just to go on holiday one time, I'm in contact with the Coral Bay in Sharm el Sheikh. It is this resort in Sharm el Sheikh. They say that last year they had 150,000 singles traveling to them. 150,000 singles are people who could really be happy to use this app, for example. The market there is extremely huge, even if we take just 5% of it. It would already be extremely huge.
Yeah. This was the last question. Okay, thank you, Giovanni.
Davis, so yeah, floor is yours.
Okay, my name is Davis. I'm here to find a co-founder, to brainstorm, to get even more feedback on the project I am working on. And this thing about what I'm going to talk about is Riley. And as you can see here, everything is work in progress. Even the word can change or the end of the word can change. But this is thus far. And by the way, the name isn't that important. And I'm going to talk about who is Davis, who is Roland, what is Riley, why Riley is, how far is Riley, what Riley needs, and what it offers. And the first thing about myself, who I am the business problem solver. About a year ago, I left Philip Morris Latvia company. I was working in sales in one of the biggest companies in the world, in their affiliacy in Latvia, wholesaling cigarettes and doing a good work of killing people. But I left it, and I had to go to school for about 2 months. And after that, I joined the team in TechHub and worked there as the marketing, as the business person And that kind of went idle from July. And afterwards, I joined the business incubator of University of Latvia, where I'm currently working full-time and organizing events and making the student entrepreneurship project community even bigger. And who is Roland? I actually have a team member. I was working with him when I was working in the Latvian National Opera House, earning a salary to run me through university. And he is the design problem solver. He's been working in the industry for about 5 years. He also left a big company, tried to work as a freelancer, kind of stuck in the process of making his perfect portfolio. And currently he is in the process of developing his perfect portfolio, and he's trying to help me. But we are going to need another co-founder, and about more of that later. And what is Ridely? Simply put, it is a platform for ride sharing. You need to go from Riga to Jurmala. You are either sharing a car and you're driving alone. It's rather expensive, and you want to find the peeps who will travel with you. But more importantly, why is Ridely? And the first thing here, my friend on Facebook, Ernest Stahls, he's about twice or 3 times a month putting up that he's looking for like co-riders with him from Riga to Jurmala. And he's not the only one. There are a lot of my friends both on Facebook, also from this portal called Draugi Malviniši, new ones, where people are sharing their cars already. And just like that, and they keep coming. And I have friends from the regions who are traveling like this. And about the continuous, there are groups. People are saying to me, hey Davis, there are those co-driver groups already. But this is the biggest one of them. It has 5,000 active users. 3 of my friends, and you can see that Riet, 24th of January, there were 19 rides there. But it's only from Riga to Oluksne and back. And people are saying to me, why am I even bothering making Ridely? Because there are problems that there are those groups who solve this problem. But it is hard to get into. For example, it was about a week until I got accepted to this group. I even wrote to the administrators. And it is not just big Oluks, and people need to go anywhere. And also there are people who want to go somewhere, but they don't know where, and there are people out riding cars. Okay, let's go to Adeži tomorrow. Yeah, sure, why not? I have nothing better to do. And how far it is currently, we have validated the market. And we have put out mock-ups and a minimum viable product features plan. It is currently a web thing, which is also, and it needs to be, what was the word? Like that if you open it from a mobile phone, you get the responsive design. Yes, thank you, Frun. And this is we want to roll out the web, the mobile app ASAP, but the first thing is just on the web platform. And all this features list is done. And for that I am needing, and we're needing, preferably on Ruby on Rails, the developer, because what Roland was doing, he is a designer, and he also, I think he's a good Ruby on Rails front-end developer, but he got stuck working on our alpha plan on the back-end technology, and preferably it's really Ruby on Rails, but currently I've been thinking that I do the back-end of this. And what we are offering, first things first, fun, excitement, and purpose. And the excitement part is pretty, important, because we will be changing things around continuously. And I like to talk to people to know what they don't like, and I like statistics. And if 80% people say that something sucks, then it needs to be changed on the spot. But it's not the only thing. I also am going to give out equity. And I can also offer the network, and everything about this is about reputation of mine, of yours, and everyone's. And I have more projects than this working on, but if this blows up, and it should, and it needs the critical user base, then you can, well, basically the door is open for you. Thank you. And are there any problems to solve? No, with questions answered.
how you are going to earn money?
There are many ways. The first, but they are also, I am going to talk of in initial one is free, but when it gets the critical mass, there are about 3 or 4 outcomes. One is selling, and second one is getting funded by some corporatively, socially responsible fund, because we're also going to reduce the amount of cars, because people won't be traveling alone and they are going to share cars. There are probably going to be a spin-off after this project, a commercial one, because when this grows as big as the state revenue service kicks in, and I hope it will, because it would be a nice nudge for me, but then I'm going to make a commercial platform for registered drivers to use their cars to travel initially in Baltic states, but I want to scale it up to, well, the world basically.
Do you know a service like Biker?
Yeah, they are inactive.
But good?
Well, yeah, kind of. But the pattern is the LV, something like the competition. It is good that there is competition. It means that there is something to grab. I'm not afraid of pattern.
But why do you think you will do better than them? Because yes, people don't use their service, but actually good web page.
I am I don't know how many times, the better marketeer and salesperson than their guys. There's the first part, second it is inactive. They haven't updated their tagline since August previous summer or something. And yeah, and if they are going to kick in the project, then we will going to be competitors. But it is nice to have competitiveness. Maybe we will merge one day, who knows. Yeah, question.
Perhaps just a slightly similar question. There's already an international service called BlaBlaCar, which is very popular in the UK, but and it's also available everywhere else in Europe, and anyone's free to use it already. They kind of have a little bit of an advantage that you can go also abroad, and then you have international users. But yet people in Latvia are not using this service, even if it's widely available and ready to use. Why do you think people would start using your service, not another one which is already being used in other European countries? And why do you think people would be interested, and if they would, why are they not doing that already, because they have an option?
Yeah, the first thing is that they're not aware of that problem, and how they will start using the problem solver, the BlaBlaCar, and how I will solve this problem. It is like the physics thing, that if the ball is not moving, then the most force you have to push it initially, and then it goes on and on and on. And the first push with the platform, I'm going to be approaching those travelers directly. I have a product, so for them, I have the network on Draugen. Those I am approaching all the groups and trying to get from those groups which their people are already.
So you reckon your advantage is going to be your connections and marketing in the country locally, but you're not looking to grow outside of Latvia?
I am, but initially this is the case where starting in Latvia is smart.
And the Latvian market is...
Sorry?
Do you think the Latvian market is okay to start from? It's not too small?
Well, if you are doing 99% of the other startup ideas besides mine, then sure, Latvia is small.
Besides that idea.
Yeah, but
beside that idea will fall. And your idea also fall.
this is not, yeah. Because I'm not selling just your another problem solver software. This is locally based, which solves.
So you will be better on execution part.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, Christian.
Yeah, regarding the second part, the spin-off part, you said that maybe you can involve professional drivers. And that brings to my mind Uber. Why do you think that Uber is not here in Latvia?
There is another startup called Taxify.
It's a different model.
Yeah, taxi.
It's for taxi, not for.
Yes, about Uber. They are. You have also been most probably reading it in the news. They are not checking out the drivers basically, because they are having these problems in they have been closed in about 3 or 4 countries where they are being shut down by the government because they are not checking on their drivers enough, so to say. But in order to check in on the commercial part, it's also the spin-off happens after I get, I don't know, 50,000 monthly those customers in this part of Europe, and then I can scale it afterwards. Hopefully Uber will be getting banned everywhere. But we can talk about it later.
Have you heard about Ridex or Ridex?
No.
It's the same idea, just executed 2 years ago.
That is cool because
but they shut down this service. I don't know why. I'm familiar with the founder. I could ask him what was the reason, because idea was very similar for that.
Perfect.
I really don't know what the cause of the shutdowning.
Because if there is no competition, then you are getting something wrong, I guess. There should be competition.
The social aspect. What is the age and nationality of those who are like allowing to drive with them?
It is about 16. It starts from 16 and it ends somewhere, because as you are getting older, you are getting less, so to say, less likely to drive. And for example, there were talks about the theft and rape and whatnot, which has happened in Google also. But you can see here that useful and engaging content 3. I'm going to here put that I am collaborating with the police, that if crap happens, then, and if the police collaboration part is there, then the crap would happen even less rarely. But the people who are using and are most likely to use the platform are, one part is adventure seekers, and those who need to travel, and need to travel basically everyone. And there are, I don't know, people who are stopping cars at about the age of 40, 50. But to wrap down the customer, it's just a big person who needs to travel conveniently.
And about scaling, I think it's very local thing, and most people, I think local Latvians, mostly know Latvian, so what kind of languages this application will be? English, Latvian?
Yeah, I have been thinking about this, because the initial thing is going to launch in English, because if the person is not over the age of 35, he kind of knows English. But the scalability, yes, about 99% of the rides will still be in country-wise, but when I put Latvia, and I grab Latvia, I can put it down to Lithuania. And I know for schools, students from schools who are Lithuanians or Estonians, and they could use this platform to go and find a ride to Vilnius or to Tallinn, and they would spread the information so that the rides and the scalability that the people are scaling the idea themselves. Go to Tallinn, how do you get there, and then they go to around Estonia, around Finland, everywhere. Yeah.
Second question. And I'm thinking, okay, it's quite clear the person who needs a lift would be very happy to have this app. But that's the other side of the medal. So the person who gives the lift, what gets into his pocket? I mean, why should he give a lift?
The first thing is that you can, and then in other mock-ups I have talked about, that the general idea is that you're sharing the gas price. So if it costs 20 euros to go from 200 kilometers, then it would cost 5 per person. And in most of the cases, what I've been talking about, that the drivers need to go there anyway, and if there's no one with them, they are still driving just once, and then it's the maximum gas price. So there are 3 or 2, and the gas price is shared.
Okay.
It's not legal, kind of, but I hope that the state revenue service will be.
It's legal, come on. Don't need to wiki.
No, I think that the state revenue service, I want them to get after me because it's a good sign.
And why you decided to start this web, this mock-up, not this mobile app? Because all of customers.
It's harder to implement.
Okay, but your consumers or customers have mobile phones to
And I've been thinking lately that people are also not that keen on on downloading every app, and still they have a laptop or a Wi-Fi with them.
What is usage scenario for end user when he or she deciding to use your service? How is the scenario? Sitting in the work desk and then the work computer and looking for the rides, or just hanging on the street and pressing on my mobile phone?
Yeah.
So
Currently, the ride is going to be scheduled about a day before too.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're going on a Friday from Riga to Olomouc, and then Yeah. So they have the time to enter the cities and then check the available drivers and sign up for the rides and like that. And it can evolve in all kinds of sites. When you have the GPS locators of the people, you can just grab by and show a ride. But that's not the MVP currently.
okay. So last question for Davs. No questions? Okay, thank you.
Any feedback?
So we get to... So, yeah.
I'm Phil Caters. We just have two presentations from entrepreneurs looking for developers. And now for a change, I'm a developer looking for entrepreneurs.
Cool.
This also means that I basically suck at making presentations and talking to people, so bear with me. Tonight, I want to talk about a thing that's called configuring a application. Any program which is more complex than Hello World needs configuration data or parameters or whatever you call it. How do we developers or you developers handle this problem? How do you feed this data into the application? So basically this is not something that we can put in a database because the nature of this data is not tabular. Maybe it is, but usually it's a more like a tree-like structure, which means no structure at all, just disparate collection of loosely tied values. So the amount of this data is not too big, so the storage is not a problem. This needs to be fed to the app itself, and there should be a way to enter this data to give user some interface. So what approaches are there that can be tried? You can, as I said, you can put it in a database, which is not very good because it's really a bad fit for it because you have a number of rows with the uniform values. You can keep your configuration with code, which is great for the developer, but not that great for the user or an admin user. This means that your interface is talking to the developer. Change this data, which is not good. You can try to use Google Data API for parse or Firebase, basically relying on a cloud storage from these providers. They will do a great job at storing this data, but some would involve protocol overhead, and some would not let you store a tree-like structure like Google Data, and none of them would give you a nice interface. Last option is trying text files. Now go ahead and try to teach your user to edit JSON or YAML formats. I tried that. Not good. Okay, so the data flow is basically, this problem is threefold. We have a developer, guy who defines the structure. We have a admin user, so-called, or just user who populates the structure with data. And we have an application that needs to consume this data. The idea is just so simple that it's almost embarrassing. Why can't we have a service that would do this? Some kind of an online form builder that will also keep the data for us. Many of you are familiar with this. This is a screenshot of my Gmail inbox settings. Nothing fancy. Do you find it beautiful? No.
Do we have designers here?
Do you want it to be beautiful? Not really. It's just the settings. You rarely visit them. You maybe change once in a while something, but it's all you want from this interface is to be usable. Is it usable? It definitely is. So can we go ahead and try to mimic the Gmail interface using the application? So yeah, I forgot to mention that the product is almost ready. It's the entrepreneur business part that I lack. So this is practically working. So what we do is a laser beam here. Oh. So you have a key that is passed to the program in blue, and you have a value that the user will select. And you have a form decoration that will be shown on screen, like this. So, again, the developer designs this. It defines the schema. Automatically, with no further effort, your user will have this kind of interface. It's not very pretty, but it's certainly clear and usable. So, there is not really much more to it. Aside from the thing that Gmail was not the best example to show you all the options that may be there. So we can select from these basic data types. We can arrange them more or less arbitrarily. We can make a section which will be shown like this here. Group some values together. And we also can have tabs, which we call panes, exactly like Gmail does, or anybody else does. So with this schema defined, the user will get this kind of interface. So this is one pane showing basic types section and some choice fields that can be styled as radio buttons or drop-down fields. This is here, yeah, choices. Like well, checkbox is also a choice. So, and we have aggregate types, such as tables and lists. Lists is just multiple value. So this all translates to JSON that the program receives. So API is virtually ridiculously simple. You just pass a request, authenticated get, and get the JSON. So how can we use it? This is perfectly usable by itself. So you can your application can rely on this service standalone. But what I have in mind, you know what Heroku is. Some cloud service that allows you to host programs, host applications, and Heroku and other services, they have a system of so-called add-ons. So you get basic service from them for free or nearly free, and then you choose what you want to use, what other cloud service is useful for you. And this is a really, really great promotion of the platform. So this is where I wanted to have. So if anyone with strong business background and who understands what JSON stands for without Googling, please. No questions?
Questions?
What's the size of the companies that would use this kind of tool?
Probably not too big, because bigger companies tend to develop their own their in-house interfaces for
Because I thought in big companies there's a requirement to have like some kind of security stuff, and external service isn't so good. And for the smaller companies with a smaller product, maybe the configuration part of their product isn't such a huge deal. So,
on the other hand, how big a company should be to use Amazon services?
What? So we are pricing.
Price tag. Price tag, I don't know.
That's why we're looking for business people, business developer who could make a business model for that.
Well, basic level is free, of course.
is there any demonstration of this service available already?
Well, the service is ready, as I said. At this specific moment, it's down, but a couple of things need to be fixed and it will be up again because it's actively being developed. But it's near completion, actually. It's almost done. Yes?
You thought maybe of the possibility of using it as a plugin for WordPress?
Plugin for WordPress. Yes. Why not? I don't know anything about WordPress at all, PHP in particular. So, I don't know.
Is it easy to configure it with CSS?
Okay. Configurable CSS is another great possibility, so that you can style your interface. Yes, this is certainly in the roadmap.
How does, for example, how this application, basically you could also create some kind of questionnaires also online. If configuration part fails, you just define questionnaires online.
Didn't quite get it.
Because you like define all the types into fields and validation for those input fields and so on. And basically, it's a questionnaire.
I would call it a form.
Yeah, like form or questionnaire. So.
Yes, so?
So if one idea, like configuration, fails, you can just pursue other kind of.
Oh, you mean if this like project fails? No, I can't answer this part. When it fails, help him for something else.
Okay.
So, any more questions?
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
So we got the last presentation for today, and we just have one part for networking, which is called announcements. So yeah, do we have anybody have some kind of announcements for today? Any announcements?
Python user group is creating the workshop 18th, February 18th. So if somebody is interested to join developers or are looking for some developers, you can join. So,
for those who decided to start in Ruby and Rails, probably then they need to go to Python and switch the preference of the development. Okay. So any more announcements?
What can I say about Tech Show?
Yeah, just shut up.
Well, on February the 10th, the coolest standard technology conference takes place, Actual Baltics, at Palladium. So if you want to come and join the Startupish people, just check tcbaltics.com, and we're looking forward to seeing you.
Any discounts for group members?
Sorry?
Any discounts for group members, for this or other group members, for Latvian community?
We can think about it.
Okay. We could put promotion code for group members to promote the event, something like that. Yeah, for those who don't know about conference, yeah, you could easily find it in the web. I hope so, yeah. It should be live. Okay, any more announcements for today? So yeah, that's it. Thank you for coming. You got 3 nice presenters here. You could grab them in the networking session, and also you could exchange any other ideas here. We're not in a hurry, and we have not couple, but at least hour for drinks and other stuff. So enjoy the time, and see you soon in some other events, in other technical-oriented meetup groups or in next Cofounder meetup. So probably you'll be brave and speak out your idea next time. Either your business idea owner or your developer or founder or something else. We can see there's different people who's looking for another part, missing part. Okay, thank you guys, and enjoy the meal.